All right, let's turn our attention to what's happening in crypto space in our crypto corner, because there could be some regulations coming down the pike. We're watching Bitcoin go up and down. Let's bring in somebody who, by the way, this is not her first time at the rodeo. Jodie Gunzberg, CoinDesk Indexes Managing Director. You have previous experience, as I pointed out, for several years as the former head of U.S. equities at S&P, DJI, Dow Jones Industrials. I guess for a lot of us who want to really value crypto as an asset, whether it be Bitcoin, what do you see happening in this space? Because a lot of critics, Charlie Munger today, he's always coming out against anything crypto.
I see a lot of the same signs that I've seen in emerging asset classes. I spent a lot of time in commodities and hedge funds also. And what I see that makes this so interesting as a stable emerging asset class is that there's been more institutional adoption. We've seen the same regulatory clarity, product availability, and I've seen familiar volatility patterns, increases in liquidity and volume. So again, just many of the same signs that I've seen in other asset classes that have become part of portfolios.
Jodie, what about the regulation concerns, though? We saw that rattle investors when it comes to crypto just a bit earlier this week to see what's happening overseas in China. Of course, that brings up questions about what the regulation landscape could potentially look like here in the U.S. How are you viewing that and what that could mean for Bitcoin, at least in the short term?
Yeah, regulatory risk is one of the main risks to crypto, and I would say to many assets in general. Regulatory guidelines have been put in place for as long as investments have been put in place. But what we see here is that it's often a function of how the market understands those rules. And even with China's crackdown on the mining that's happened, it may put some more pressure on crypto right now or Bitcoin. But there's a lot of positives to that, as they might move the mining operations to places where it would be more efficient, both from an energy perspective and it could create easier hash rate.
Jodie, I had a fascinating discussion recently from an individual who fled Iran and pointed out to me that in places like Iran, where you have incredible currency controls and laws regulating foreign ownership of foreign currency, people use crypto as a way to protect their assets. Could that be having, because we always talk about the big institutional investors who might be moving Bitcoin, for instance, but could that, which was shared with me by this person who's Iranian, be driving prices back higher when we see those dramatic dips like we saw just the other week?
I don't think that necessarily where the assets are held are driving the prices. I mean, we've seen for ages investors setting up accounts and domiciling assets based on whatever regulatory framework is favorable to them. So this is not new. Again, I think it's just a matter of how the market understands the rules and to which places it benefits certain investors and where they put the stuff. But it doesn't really affect the supply and demand.
Gotcha. Jodie Gunzberg is CoinDesk Indexes Managing Director. We appreciate you being here and look forward to future discussions with you.